Okay, hello everyone. Good afternoon, all of you. Okay, today we start with a nice quote from the great lady Oprah Winfrey. I don't know how many people know about her, but she is very, very great lady. We will talk about her at the end of the class. Okay, she says, it makes no difference how many peaks you reach if there was no pleasure in the climb. Okay, that is more important. What you have achieved is different, but you have to enjoy the journey. So that is very important because every day you feel hell, and finally at the end of the life, if you are happy about what you have achieved, but all this hell you have to face. We have to enjoy the present, enjoy every moment in every activity, whatever we do. So then only it is worth achieving something. Whatever you have achieved, you have earned something, or you have reached some, uh, you became famous or something. It is in the eyes of the world only, not in the eyes of you, because every day you face the trouble. That's why many times I ask you whom you consider as a successful person. Okay, some people may say Bill Gates, some people may say Mahatma Gandhi, and some people may say Vivekanand, some people may say Mother Teresa. Okay, so because they became very famous. But as a third person or a second person, outside person, you can never say who is successful. Because how can you know that he feels successful? You feel that because your ultimate goal is to become famous, then whoever is famous, you feel he is successful. If your ultimate goal is to be rich, and whoever is rich, you feel he is successful. But we don't know what is his goal. Okay, unless we know that, we cannot know whether that person is successful or not. Right? One can say about himself, not about others, whether somebody is successful or not. This is very, very important. Okay. So we will see one great fellow. He is a scientist, Foucault. I think you heard about his name. Okay, in vibrations, you will come across Foucault pendulum. So he is French physicist whose Foucault pendulum experimentally proved that the Earth rotates on its axis. So because of this, it is proved that Earth rotates about its axis. And using a long pendulum with a heavy bob, he showed its plane rotated at a rate related to Earth's angular velocity and the latitude of the site. He invented an accurate test of a lens for chromatic and spherical aberrations. He made accurate measurements of the absolute velocity of light. In 1850, Foucault showed that the light travels slower in water than in air. He also built a gyroscope, the Foucault's prism, and made improvements for mirrors of reflecting telescopes. Okay, he's a great scientist for our mechanical engineers. Okay, today we will have the lecture 10, which is a continuation for the previous lecture, partial differential equations. And what we had discussed in the last class is, okay, first few minutes we have discussed about a general transport equation in differential form. All the equations together can be written as a single differential equation. It is different to what we have done in matrix form. Okay, so that is different, and this is different. It's like a transport equation. So with transport equation means it contains terms, an unsteady term, a convection term, a diffusion term, and a source term. Okay, so that type of equation we call it as transport equation. We have discussed or presented in differential form and also in integral form. Then we have discussed about boundary conditions of different kinds: Dirichlet condition, Newman condition, Robin condition, Cauchy condition, mixed boundary condition, and what type of conditions we get at different physical locations like wall boundary condition, inlet condition, exit condition, symmetry condition, periodic condition, far field boundary condition. Right? Okay, so we have seen that all the governing equations are partial differential equations. Simultaneous, right? Coupled, nonlinear, partial differential equations. So we have to understand how partial differential equations behave. So we started classifying the partial differential equations. So based on the degree, based on the order of the equation, we can say first order, second order, third order based on the highest order derivative of the equation. And then we can say degree of the equation as first degree, second degree, third degree, like that, based on the degree of the highest order derivative of the equation. And then we talked about linear and nonlinear equations. So if there is a product of any dependent variable or its derivatives like u dash or ux, okay, so ux whole square, like that, such terms are nonlinear. And so the advanced nonlinear equations have butterfly effect and difficult to solve them. And linear equations, it has a law of superposition. So if any number of linear combinations of the solutions will be another solution for the equation. And so the constants will come. Those constants will be obtained from the boundary conditions. And then we have discussed about elliptic, parabolic, and hyperbolic equations, and based on the equation of characteristic. So the characteristic is the one that is the solution. Okay, the solution of the partial differential equation is characteristic curve, and along the characteristic curve it is indeterminate, and across the characteristic curve it is discontinuous. Okay, so we can find out by taking a generalized second order partial differential equation with two dependent variables and two independent variables and one dependent variable. We have taken a generalized equation, and we have got the equation of characteristic. And from that we have seen that if b square minus 4ac less than 0, it is elliptic, equal to 0, it is parabolic, and greater than 0, hyperbolic. We have defined like that. And we have seen what is the difference in its behavior. Okay, so we have seen that elliptic equation, okay, like subsonic, sonic, and supersonic, we have taken an example. So in subsonic flow, any disturbance goes in all directions uniformly. Okay, so as the disturbance proceeds, the zone of disturbance increases, and beyond that there will be zone of silence. Okay, so uniformly it gets there will not be any particular direction for the solution. So that is there is no characteristic, or they are imaginary. And if it is a sonic velocity, we have seen that the complete region, whole domain, will be separated into two domains. One is the zone of disturbance, and another is zone of silence. And so they are divided by a single characteristic. Okay. In the same way, if you come to the hyperbolic flow or a supersonic flow, which is hyperbolic, so the zone of disturbance and silence, they are divided by two real characteristics. Okay. So that is the way we can classify the partial differential equations of second order. We have seen general equations, various types, and the classification we have seen here. And okay, sometimes the elliptic equations are called as equilibrium problems or jury problems. Okay, why? Because the disturbance travels uniformly everywhere, and so every point is influenced by other point, and the boundary decides what should be the domain variables within the domain. It is these are the sometimes important. Actually, I told the diffusion term acts like elliptic behavior. Okay, because it diffuses in all directions uniformly. Okay, and so this is a closed domain. And suppose if you take Laplace's equation or Poisson's equation, they are elliptic. So we have seen that like phi xx plus phi yy equal to 0, or pxx plus tyy equal to 0. Okay, means actually when you give the boundary conditions, how many boundary conditions we need? Okay, so based on the derivative, we can say it is second order derivative in x. So I have to be given the temperature at two values of x. Okay, either Dirichlet or Newman or Robin condition, whatever it is, at two values of x, I should be prescribed the boundary condition. because it is a second order derivative in x is present there. In the same way, there is a second order derivative in y. So there should be y specified at two values of t specified at two values of temperature y. Okay. So usually, if you take finite difference equations, so we will have a domain which is having grid lines confined to x and y directions. So if this is a rectangle is the boundary, so there is okay, if you draw x and y here like this, so this is one value of y, this is one value of y, and this is x equal to 0, it is x equal to something. So I have a rectangular domain. I should be specified on two values of x and two values of y. I should be given the temperatures. And here, why we call it a Zury problem or equilibrium problem is actually all this domain is influenced by, because this is like disturbance. Okay, we are prescribing something means it influences the points in the domain. Okay, so this influences in the domain, this influences, and this influences the whole domain. So the whole domain, the parameters are confined by the values that are given on the boundary. Jury means justice, decision, judgment. Okay, so the values here is judged by the values on the boundary. Okay, so that's why these are called as equilibrium problems or jury problems. And another important thing is, suppose all are Dirichlet conditions. Suppose this is t equal to 100, and this is t equal to 0, this is t equal to 200, this is t equal to 300. It is fixed boundary conditions, Dirichlet conditions. So you can say by logic, or elliptic problems behave like that. That is, any temperature anywhere within the domain, can it be greater than 300? Can the temperature anywhere greater than 300?
No, sir.
Can it be less than 0?
No, sir.
Can never be. So it is decided by the values of the given on the boundary, or the boundary conditions decide the whole domain, how it is to be. Okay. So this is the characteristic of elliptic problem. So this is the domain for an equilibrium problem, and partial differential equations must be satisfied within the domain, and the boundary conditions must be specified over the domain surface. Okay. And this is an example problem, as I told. Okay, t equal to 0, 0, 0. Suppose t equal to t naught. So everywhere this temperature distribution, this is the decided by the Laplace equation, like as I told. If it is a steady two-dimensional heat conduction without heat generation, then this is the equation, governing equation. And these are the boundary conditions. This is to be solved. Okay, these types of problems we are going to solve, right, in our CFD lab. Okay, how to generate the grid, how to give the boundary conditions, and how to draw the discretize the equation, and how to implement the discretized equation, and how to solve it. That we are going to do. Okay, this is the analytical solution. So when you solve it, as I told, if I find out some temperature distribution, and some temperature distribution I will get, whether it is right or not, how can I know? Because for that, analytical solution is already done by mathematicians, and we have that analytical solution. So you can check whether your code is working or not. Okay, so this is the analytical solution to compare. And the eigenvalue problem. Okay, so these can be considered as an extension of an equilibrium problem. These are also elliptic only. The difference being that the solution exists only on some discrete values of parameter lambda called the eigenvalue. But we are not going to discuss much about it. Only solid mechanics people in vibrations, they will get this. Okay, so examples of eigenvalue problems are buckling and stability of structures, resonance in electric circuits, and natural frequencies in vibrations. And they occur infrequently in fluid mechanics and heat transfer, and they are not discussed here. And then the parabolic and hyperbolic equations are called marching problems. As I told, they march in some direction. Okay, so marching or propagation problems are transient and transient-like problems. They are unsteady problems. Transient means unsteady. So such problems. and it need not be transient like problems. As I told, space marching. Okay, so space marching, that space direction also works like a transient one, because whenever information moves in only one direction, okay, that is sometimes called as one-way coordinate, it has parabolic nature. That's why I told you unsteady problems are parabolic problems. An unsteady term has parabolic behavior. And the problems are classified as initial value problems or initial boundary value problems. Okay, only at time equal to 0, if you are given the value, then it is initial value problem. If time is given not only at the 0 and on the two boundaries, then it is initial boundary value problem. So the domains will be open domains. Okay, these are open domains, and that is time is open. It started. We started marching in time, and maybe t equal to 0 we start, and we can go on marching it. What is present we can find out, and what will be its future also you can find out by marching. So time, this is an open domain. Okay? So initial data and boundary conditions are to be specified on these things, and differential equation must be satisfied in this domain. Okay, so similar to that unsteady heat conduction, one-dimensional heat conduction problem. Okay, so this is a parabolic equation. We have seen it, and so the solution, analytical solution, is given, and we can find out by solving it using parabolic scheme and check it whether we are getting right solution or not. And hyperbolic, as I told, it is second order wave equation. So ytt is equal to a square yxx, like this. And here also we have analytical solution is there, and based on initial and boundary condition, it has initial condition and also boundary conditions, because y is a function of t, it has y derivatives in t and x directions. So at time equal to, at two times I have to know the value y, and at two boundaries I have to know the value of x to be prescribed. Then only it can be solved. Okay, examples are given: unsteady inviscid flow, steady supersonic inviscid flow, transient heat conduction, and boundary layer flow. These are all to be solved by marching methods. And this last class we have seen, if I have a second order partial differential equation with two independent variables and one dependent variable phi, so we can find out. And we have seen this also. And various model equations are there. We have seen this is Laplace equation elliptic, and this is also elliptic, and this is unsteady heat conduction equation. We have to see whether actually this right hand side is elliptic, but because of unsteady term here, you can, if you want it to be solved in time marching in time, what is going to happen, then I have to do, it is like a parabolic equation. If it is a steady flow, that is after some time it is getting fixed, then dou t by dou t will become 0 and it will become elliptic. Okay, this is again the parabolic equation, and this is hyperbolic equation, and this is first order wave equation, like that. But this is a non-linear term. Okay, u du by dx.
Inviscid.
Yeah, inviscid only. But I'm telling about this. This is convection term is there, u du by dx, which is non-linear. All the other equations are linear equations. Okay, now we want to see, always I will not have a single second order partial differential equation. Sometimes there will be simultaneous first order equations or simultaneous second order equations. So how to solve or how to classify them? Okay, so that we are going to do. Simultaneous first order linear okay, so like this. Okay, dou u by dou t, a1 dou u by dou x plus a2 dou v by dou x. I have two dependent variables u and v, and two-dimensional problem x and y are independent variables. So this is the generalized equation to have two first-order equations with two independent and two independent variables. Okay, so here this can be of this way. I can write phi is u and v. There are two dependent variables, right? So it is unsteady term. So ut is there, vt is here. Okay, dou u by dou t, dou v by dou t. And I can have x derivatives and y derivatives. So u x derivative, v x derivative, u y derivative, v y derivative, and plus some constant or psi of xy. Okay, psi is term without derivative. Okay, so equal to 0. That is, it is non-homogeneous. It can be homogeneous or non-homogeneous. If psi are 0, it is homogeneous. And so here dou v by dou t, and this is also having u and v x derivatives and y derivatives. So these are the two equations. Okay, so if I have like this, I can write this in matrix form. So phi is uv. Okay, so here A matrix, how to write? This is A dou phi by dou x, B dou phi by dou y plus psi equal to 0. This is the matrix form. I am writing these two equations together like this. So first equation you will get, because phi is u and v, first equation you will get dou u by dou t, second equation you will get dou v by dou t. And A matrix is A1, A2, B1, B2. Okay, so here I am going to get A1, A2, B1, B2 into dou by dou x of u, v. Okay, so A1 dou u by dou x, A2 dou v by dou x, I will get in the first equation. B1 dou u by dou x, B2 dou v by dou x, I will get in the second equation. Okay, so in the same way, here A3, A4, B3, B4 into dou by dou y of u, v, like this. So A3 dou u by dou y, A4 dou v by dou y, B3 dou u by dou y, B4 dou v by dou y. Okay, this is the general way of writing the equation. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, the same thing is written here. It is a steady flow, so it doesn't matter. You can have dou u by dou t plus dou u by dou t also. So here, so what is A matrix here? What is A matrix here?
A1, B1, A2, B2.
A1, I am taking A into dou phi by dou x, right? So x derivatives I have to take first. So A1 dou u by dou x means A1 will be there, and C1 dou v by dou x is there, C1 will be there. Is it clear? In the second equation, what are the x derivatives? A2 and C2. Okay, this is the way we get. And if I take B matrix, so here, first equation, dou u by dou y, this is B1, and here this is D1, B2, D2.
D2.
Yeah, like this I will get. Okay, so it depends. You have to be careful in seeing the equation. Okay, now I want to find out the characteristic of this equation. And how to get the characteristics? Again, the same thing, because this is first order equation. The first order derivatives must be indeterminate along the characteristic direction. Okay, and I have only two equations. And how to get the, because how many variables are there? Ux, Vx, Uy, Vy. There are four variables are there, first derivatives. So I have only two equations, and I have to generate two more equations. Yes?
Sir, you said like first order derivative must be continuous along the. So How this is,
Along the characteristics,
yes, sir.
right, they are indeterminate.
So how this is decided? Like how?
No, that characteristic is defined like that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if I take A1 UX, B1 UY plus C1 DX plus C2 DY is equal to something. Then A2 UX plus B2 UY plus C2 UX plus B2 UY is equal to. Now I have to generate two equations. So how to do that in the same way as we have done that? Okay. So if I write UX, DUX, sorry, uh, like DU. Okay. If I want DU, dou U by dou X dx plus dou U by dou Y dy. That we know, right? That I write this equation here. So du I will write here, and ux dx. So dx ux and dy uy plus dy uy. Okay, like this, plus 0 plus 0. Similarly, if I want dv is dou v by dou x into dx, that is dx vx plus dou v by dou y into dy, dy 0 plus 0. Like this, I will have 4 equations. Am I right? So if I want to find out ux, right? Again, the Cramer's rule, using Cramer's rule, I will have some matrix by some matrix. Here, this is the coefficient matrix. So this should be 0 for all this. If this is to be indeterminate, this should be equal to 0. Okay, that is coefficient matrix. So what is the coefficient matrix? A1, B1, C1, D1, A2, B2, C2, D2. Then tell me dx,
dx dy.
dy, 0, 0, 0, 0, dx, dy. This is equal to 0. Okay. So if you expand this, I'm going to get an equation in dy dx, right? So if you expand it, you are going to get something like this.
Sir, it is the characteristic equation. No?
Yeah, this is the characteristic equation. So if you expand this, you are going to get not here. Something like this, you will get. It is determinants. Okay. This is if you expand it, you will get like this, where we know it a1 c2 minus a2 c1 and b equal to d1 d2 minus d2 d1, and here c we will get like this. Okay, so this is the way we get if you expand it. So here, if you see, because this is equal to 0, again dy by dx is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac. So again, based on the b square minus 4ac less than 0, elliptic, equal to 0, parabolic, and greater than 0, hyperbolic. Okay, this is the way we have to do it. Is it clear?
Sir, B1 D2 minus B2 D1 will be C.
Yeah. That's true. Sorry. Actually, because there is a bit of confusion about the way I have given the names. Maybe I think we can put here P, and this is R, and this is Q. Okay, and P is equal to determinant A, and Q is determinant B, and R is equal to this. Okay, so this will become R square minus 4PQ. Okay, whichever way you write, okay, you can write ABC also, but here this is B, and here this is okay. I don't know whether it's clear or not. Just I will see. So A equal to A1 C1, A2 C2, B equal to B1 B1, B2, and C equal to minus of A1 B1, A2 B2, plus B1 C1. Okay, like this way, right? So B square minus 4AC, I have to decide. Is that okay? We will see a problem. Okay. Suppose if I take a problem 2D, incompressible, inviscid, irrotational flow. So this we already know actually. This will become Laplace's equation del square psi equal to 0, del square phi equal to 0. But if I am not giving psi and phi, I am giving taking irrotational condition and the incompressible flow condition. So what will I get? Okay, ux plus by equal to 0. This is incompressible. Del dot v equal to 0. From this I will get like this. And the irrotational del cross v equal to 0. So we will get dx minus uy equal to 0. So this way it is given, but you have to find out whether it is elliptic, parabolic, or hyperbolic. So how to find out? So now we will find out A matrix. So this I have to write Q is equal to U B. So I have to write this as A dou Q by dou X plus B dou Q by dou Y equal to 0. Okay, so A matrix will be the coefficients of x derivatives in the first equation and x derivatives in the second equation. So can you tell me what is the matrix? 1. Ux is 1. Vx is not there. 0. In the second equation, Ux is not there. 0. Vx is 1. Like this. And B matrix, y derivatives. In the first equation, Uy is not there. 0. Vy 1. In the second equation, Uy minus Uy and Vy 0. Like this. So if you want to find out PQR, So P is equal to determinant of this, right? G1, 0, 0, 1. So this is equal to 1. And Q is 0, 1, minus 1, 0. So this is one only, right? One.
1.
So R will be, I have to take minus of, and n things I have to take, this end and that end. 1, 0, this end, and that end is 1, 0. Plus the center, these two I have to take 0, 1, 0, minus 1. Like this. Okay, this is the way you can remember. So what will I get here? Minus, this is 0, this is 0. So now I have to take r square minus 4p. So what will I get? R square
Minus
0
4.
minus 4 into
Elliptic.
1 into 1. So less than 0. Elliptic. We know it beforehand because these two can be written as del square psi is 0 or del square phi is 0, which are elliptic. Okay, so this is the way I can do. And but the problem is,
Sir,
yes,
sir, psi and phi both are solution of Laplace equation, but they are orthogonal. Sir, why they are orthogonal?
why they are orthogonal? We have seen the
Yeah,
linear
it's
equation.
orthogonal,
Yeah,
but they are solution of same equation.
yeah.
It is
If you
possible
solve del square psi or del square phi, you are going to get psi or phi. From there, you can calculate u and v. U equal to dou psi by dou y, v equal to minus dou psi by dou x, like that. That you can solve like that. Or you can use primitive variables method. There are other methods how to solve this. Okay. So whether you solve this or you solve this, you are going to get the velocity distribution same. You can solve only this equation. You can solve only this equation, or you can solve these two equations together, right? You get the same solution for the velocity distribution.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the problem is, if I have two equations, I can do like this. But if I have more number of equations, what is that I have to do? Okay. So for that, we have found out like this. Okay. So we have A dou q by dou x plus b dou q by dou y is equal to something is there like this, suppose. Okay. So here it is found that if I write a matrix P, which is A dx plus B dy, okay, if the determinant of this equal to 0 also is equation of characteristic. Equation of characteristic. Okay. So suppose we will see how it is like this. Okay. So for the previous one, okay, assuming it is only two equations, just I want to show this assumption is right. Okay, as I told, like validation. So A, I will have A1, P1, A2, P2, dx is B1, B1, B2, B2, dy equal to 0. This is the characteristic equation. And so if I do like A dx plus B dy, if I add this, what will happen? I am going to get A1 dx plus B1 dy, first term, and C1 dx plus D1 dy, second term, and in the second row, A2 dx plus B2 dy, and here P2 dx plus D2 dy. And determinant of this is equal to 0. Determinant of this is equal to 0. So now if you expand this, okay, this into this, and this minus this into this. Okay, So what is that I am going to get? Suppose I take dy whole square. And if I multiply this term and this term, what is that I'm going to get? b1 d2, right? And minus multiplying these two, I will get b2 d1. Similarly, if I take dx whole square, I'm going to get a1 c2 minus a2 c1. And then dy dx. dy dx into means what is that I'm going to get? a1 d2, then plus b1 c2, right? Minus c1 b2 or b2 c1, and minus a2 d1 or a2, isn't it? So we are going to get the same thing what we have discussed previously. So this is this now divide by dx whole square. So dy by dx whole square I will get. So here dy by dx I will get. So here this will go off. And you will get the same expression as the previous one. Is it clear? So the advantage is this can be used for either 2 equations or 3 equations or 4 equations also. So we will see in the example how to use it, we will see. And for the previous problem, just we can check ux plus vy equal to 0, vx minus uy equal to 0, and A matrix 1, 0, 0, 1, and B matrix uy 0, 1, and minus 1, 0, something like this we got. Okay, now if you see T matrix, A dx plus B dy. So what is that I will get? This into dx and this into dy. And so here dx and dy, because dx into 1 plus dy into 0. Then next term dx into 0 plus dy into 1. And here dx into 0, dy into minus 1. And the last term dx into 1 plus dy into 0. Am I right? This is the way I get. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is equal to 0. So what is that I get by expansion? Dx whole square plus dy whole square equal to 0. So divide by dx whole square. So dy is equal to minus complex also. Okay, this is the way I can show. Is it clear? So this is the better way to remember than the previous method. That is for knowing that this way I am going to get characteristic equations. Okay. So here I didn't show how it is become characteristic equation, but there I have taken what is du, what is dv, and I got 4 equations and I have solved it. Then I got the characteristic equation. And this way also I get the same thing I wanted to show like that. Okay. So this is another method. And another method is, now I got a dou q by dou x plus b dou q by y equal to c, something like this. And multiply this by a inverse. So what is that I going to get? Dou q by dou x plus a inverse b dou q by dou y is equal to a inverse like this. Okay. So if you take a inverse b as some matrix M, so eigenvalues of M decides the type of equation. If all eigenvalues are complex, elliptic. If all eigenvalues are real, that is hyperbolic. But if all eigenvalues are real and less than the number of equations, then it is parabolic. Sometimes there may be mixed real and complex. Then it is elliptic by hyperbolic. Sometimes we get this type also. Means suppose if I take a transonic equation, transonic flow, what happens is sometimes it may be elliptic, sometimes hyperbolic, because sometimes it may be subsonic, sometimes it may be supersonic. Okay, so that is the way. And the same thing I can do with the previous example, right? So in the previous example, I got A1001, B, what is that I got? 01 minus 10. 01 minus 1. So you can find out the matrix M by A inverse B. Okay, and because A equal to I, the identity matrix, A inverse is equal to A equal to I. Okay, A inverse also will be same, and so M is equal to 1001 into 01 minus 10. Because this is I into B will be equal to B only. If you multiply any matrix to identity matrix, you will get this. So the same thing I will get. So M equal to B I will get. 01 minus 10. But I want eigenvalues. So how will I get? Mod M minus
Characteristic equation.
lambda I. Okay, so is equal to 0. So 0 minus lambda, 1 minus 1, 0 minus lambda. Okay, I have to take determinant. This is equal to 0. So what is that I am going to get? Lambda square minus lambda into minus lambda, lambda square, and plus 1 equal to 0. So lambda equal to plus or minus I. So again, it shows that it is elliptic. So this is another way. Okay, but the second method is the easier one, A dx plus B dy. It is easier because if it is two equations, finding out inverse is easier. But if there are three equations, finding out inverse will be a little bit difficult. Okay, if it is a complex matrix, then finding out inverse will take more time. Okay. So all the things clear? We will see some more problems, right? Some more problems. Okay, these things I have told. Okay, this is the one I told you, dou u by dou y, dou x plus dou v by dou y, continuity, and this is irrotational condition, uv, a equal to 1001, b equal to 01. And this I told you how to do it. And another we will see, 2D steady, inviscid, incompressible flow equations in non-dimensional form. Okay, so this is a continuity equation, and this is the momentum equation. So you know u dou u by dou x plus v dou u by dou y, these are convective terms. Steady term is the unsteady term is not there, and because it is inviscid, the viscous terms are not there, and the pressure term minus dou p by dou x on this side is brought to this side. Is this clear?
Sir, Kiran, please mute yourself.
Pardon?
Noise is Kiran is like noise is coming, sir, from Kiran sir.
Okay, okay. Kiran?
Sorry, sir. I forgot to.
Okay, okay. And the third equation, u dou v by dou x plus v dou v by dou y equal to minus dou p by dou y, that is brought this side. So these are the three equations.
There is no
Now
body.
these are the, No body force. Okay, body force usually very rarely we consider when you have free convection or something like that. But in general, for most of the problems, body forces are negligible only. Okay. Okay, these are the equations I got. So what is Q matrix here? What are all the what are all the dependent variables?
UV.
UV,
U,
V, P.
V, P also. There are three equations are there. Three unknowns must be there. And U, V, P are the primitive variables which we have to solve. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
three unknowns are there. Okay, three. And so now, can you tell me what is the A matrix and B matrix? First equation. I want x derivative coefficients ux, vx, px.
U,
U
0.
unknown.
So ux coefficient is 1, right? So here dou u by dou x is there. There is no dou v by dou x and dou p by dou x. So there is 0, 0. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now you tell me from the second equation, what are the coefficients of ux, vx, and px?
U
U,
0
U01.
0,
1
1. And the third equation,
U00.
0 1 0
0,
1 0.
vx is there, isn't it?
Okay.
What is the coefficient? U,
U.
right? And the px is not there, right? This is A matrix. And B matrix, y derivatives you have to write from the first equation, second equation, third equation. Uy, vy, and py. Okay, uy is not there, vy is there. Okay, 0, vy, py is not there, right? In the second equation,
0.
v, right? Because uy is there, vy is not there,
0 0
not there, and py is not there, 0.
0.
Third equation,
0
0,
V
v,
1
1. Okay, this is the way it will be. And then what will be the T matrix? A dx plus B dy. So 1 into dx plus 0 into dy. So what is the I get? Dx, right? Dx plus 0. And the next one, 0 into dx plus 1 into dy.
dy
That is dy.
dy.
Third one,
0
0. Both are 0, right? So next, second
U,
row,
dx plus V, dy.
yeah, u dx plus
Plus
b
v,
dy. Next,
0.
0. Next,
dx,
dx
dx. Third row,
0.
0.
U,
And
dx
here
plus
u dx plus v dy.
0. dy.
dy. dy will be there, right? So this is equal to 0. Am I right? So this is to be expanded. So suppose I expand with respect to the first row. So what will I get? Dx into this into this minus this into this, right? 0 dy 0 dx into u dx plus v dy minus, okay? Minus dx. This is the first term. And then with respect to dy plus dy into, what is that I get? Okay, this is minus dy, right? Minus dy into dy into u dx plus v dy right? So this into this minus this into this. Right? Like this I will get. Am I right? In both the terms, u dx plus v dy is common. U dx plus v dy, if I take common, what will be left from the first term?
dx whole square.
Minus dx square. And the second one, minus dy square, right? minus dy is equal to 0. Okay, so this is equal to 0 or this is equal to 0. So from the first one, u dx plus b dy equal to 0. What is dy by dx?
Minus u by
Minus
v.
Minus u by v.
Minus u by v. In the second one, I divide by dx whole square. So dy by dx is equal to, what will I get?
Constant.
1 or I?
I.
I, sir.
I only, right? Because both become plus. Okay, so it will become dy by dx whole square plus 1 equal to 0. So I am going to get plus or minus I. So this is what, if you see here, I have both the real and imaginary values. So this is elliptic by hyperbolic. Because these are compressible flows, so it can be subsonic or supersonic at any time, or it can be transonic. So it can become elliptic or hyperbolic based on the boundary conditions. Am I clear about this?
Yes, sir.
So is it clear how to solve? So this can be done in another way also. You can find out m is equal to A inverse B. You have to find out the inverse of this. Will it be easier? It takes some time, right? So this method is easy, A dx plus B dy. This method is easier. Is this method clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is explained here. Okay, this is taken from the Hoffman book only. And there is another problem. Okay, this is 1D inviscid compressible flow. It is unsteady flow. Okay, it is unsteady. Okay, now here, how many equations are there? 3 equations. So what will be Q matrix?
Rho u p.
Rho U P. Okay, so can you tell me what is A matrix?
One, zero,
No dou P by dou X, right? So 0. In the second equation,
Zero, 1, 0.
so rho x is not there. U, this is not 1. Okay. Ux coefficient is U here. And what is Px coefficient?
1 by rho.
1 by rho.
By rho.
And the third equation,
Rho a square.
0, 0, rho is
rho x not there. Ux, rho a square.
Rho a square.
And Px, U.
U.
Okay, but here it is like this. So actually this can be written like this: dou q by dou t plus a dou q by dou x equal to 0. Now this is the way. And if you remember, when we have written, when there are two variables like a inverse dou q by dou, a dou q by dou x plus b dou q by dou y is equal to c. What we have done, dou q by dou x plus a inverse b dou q by dou y equal to a inverse c we have written. And this we have written as m. So we got dou q by dou x plus m dou q by dou y is equal to a inverse c. When you have this form, what we have found out is eigenvalues of m will give you the behavior, right? And if you see, this is that form only. Am I right or not? In place of x, we have t. In place of y, we have x. And this A matrix is like M matrix here. Is it clear?
So right hand side also.
Right hand side, whatever is there, it doesn't matter. We are bothered about whatever can be there on that side. Okay, they are that's constant only.
Okay, sir.
There is no variables are there, right? All derivatives are on the left side. Is it clear? So now what should I do?
Eigenvalues.
Eigenvalues of A. Okay, I have to find out the eigenvalues of A. So how to find out eigenvalues? For the diagonal elements, you have to put minus lambda. So I will put the first one. Is it right? Actually, this is wrong. Okay.
U,
So
sir.
what should be here?
U, sir.
You, sir.
Rho x means u. Okay. That is it. So what will I get? U minus lambda 0, 0, 0, u minus lambda 1 by rho 0, rho a square u minus lambda. So if you expand it, u minus lambda into based on the first row or first column. Okay. So I will get, what is that I will get? U minus lambda whole square minus 1 by rho into rho a square. So a square, right, is equal to 0. So I will get u minus lambda.
Sir, in the first column in
Yeah.
matrix A,
Mm.
the first column, the second term will be row, I think. Not
This
zero.
one, this one.
Hmm.
I have to write rho x coefficient, ux coefficient, and px coefficient. Okay, rho x coefficient is u, ux coefficient rho,
Rho.
right? Rho is there.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay, fortunately, it will not matter. The answer will not change because now if I expand using this, okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
so it will not matter me. Okay, fortunately, otherwise it will be completely wrong. Okay, so now I can write this as like a square minus b square it is. So u minus lambda plus a into u minus lambda minus a equal to 0. So you can get 3 lambda values. Okay, first one, u minus lambda is 0, so lambda 1 equal to u. And from this, lambda 2 equal to u plus a. And from this, lambda 3 equal to u minus a. Okay, so all are real. And this is hyperbolic. Is it clear? Okay, this is the way we can do it. Okay, this is the. Okay, if I have all first order equations, I can do that. But if I have first order and second order equations together, okay, what is the way we have to go about it? We will just see one example. Okay, this is the way I have 2D, steady, viscous, and compressible flow equations. Okay, continuity equation, we know ux plus vy equal to 0. And in momentum equations, previously we have taken only this. If I have viscosity, I will have this. Actually, here it should be nu, but if I make it non-dimensional, I am going to get Reynolds number here, 1 by Re. Okay, so that is the way it is written. And the third equation, u dou v by dou x plus v dou v, just like that previous problem. These terms will be like this, and this additional term will be there. Is it okay? Okay. Okay, so these are the 3 equations. I have 3 unknowns. What are the unknowns? What are the unknowns?
UVP.
UVP are the unknowns. But here I have second order derivatives are there. So what I want to do is I want to write just like a previous one, all first order equations I want to get. Okay, so what I do is now I have ux uy, vx, vy, like that. Okay, so here I take first order derivatives. If I take it something like ux is equal to a, then this dou square u by dou x square will become ax, dou a by dou x. Am I clear? So it will become like a first order derivative. Okay, in that way, I will assume some additional variables here, so that I can make these equations also as first order derivative equations.
Sir, can you repeat that, sir, please?
Okay. So these first order derivatives, if I name it as some new variables, right? Second order derivative can be written as the derivative of these new variables. Am I right? If ux equal to a, what will be uxx? This will be ax.
dA.
Am I right? Am I right?
Yes.
So that is the way I want to write. So you can see this is the way it is written. So I have assumed Vx is A, Vy is B, Uy is C. Okay, I didn't take Ux. Actually, Ux also can be taken, but Ux I am not taking because I have continuity equation Ux plus Vy equal to 0, right? If you assume Ux, if you assume Vy as B, right? So Ux plus B equal to 0. So Ux equal to minus B. It will become like that. Am I clear? And there are some more equations generated. Okay. So here, if you see here, we know that Uxx plus Uyy equal to 0. Okay. What is Ux minus B? Okay. So Uxx is minus Bx. Plus what is Uy? Uy is C. So Uyy is Cy. So equal to 0. This is one equation, minus Bx plus Cy. And similarly, sorry, here. Okay, similarly, Vxx plus Vy by equal to 0. So Vx is A. Okay. No. This is not right. Okay, I had done wrong. Okay, I'm doing this. Uxy minus Uyx equal to 0. This is the way I have to write. Vxy minus Vyx equal to 0. Laplace's equation will not be 0. Okay, so this is the way it will be because u will not satisfy Laplace's equation here. And we have taken Vx is equal to A. Uy equal to Vy equal to B, Uy equal to C. So we have taken like this. Because of this, Ux became minus B. Okay. So now Uxy means Ux of y minus By minus Uy of x means Tx equal to 0. Similarly, Vx of y, Vx is A, so Ay minus Vy of x, so Vy is B, so Bx equal to 0. Like this, we can generate some new equations. Okay, that's what it is done here. Bx minus Ay equal to 0 and Cx plus Dy equal to 0. So these are the two equations. Okay, here actually I want 6 equations. Now A, B, C are the new things. Okay, I have now Q is equal to U, V, P, A, B, C. There are 6 unknowns are there. And I have to take 6 equations. So what are the equations we are going to take? It is left to you. So this is one equation, 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 and the given 3 equations. Okay, so the given 3 equations we have to use, and here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are there. Out of this, you have to take any other 3 equations, any 3 equations. Okay, so that is the way I have to choose 6 equations. So here, dou u by dou y equal to c is taken, and this is the continuity equation, and these are the 2 equations that are generated, and these are the given equations. So here uxx is written as minus dou b by dou x, uyy is dou c by dou y, and the other side I have u dou u by dou x, right? So dou u by dou x is minus b, and dou u by dou y is c. I can substitute them there just like that. So it will become like this. This is the equation, and this is another equation. These are the 6 equations that are taken. So as I told, I can, instead of this, I can take the other things like Vx equal to A or Vy equal to B. So any of those things I can take here. Okay, actually sometimes you can take it as a homework problem. Instead of this equation, you take another equation. Okay, like Vx equal to B or Vy equal to Vx equal to A or Vy equal to B. You can solve this equation and see how it comes. Okay. Okay, now A matrix and B matrix I have to write from these 6 equations. Okay, suppose A matrix if I take one, I will write. Okay, from the first equation, I have to write x derivatives. Okay, I don't have any x derivatives, so 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, all the 6 zeros. And in the second equation, you remember the order U, V, P, A, B, C, suppose. Okay, you can change the order also. That also you can, it will left to you. Okay, so ux is 1 here. I don't have any other x derivatives, all zeros. And in the third equation, there is no u derivative, v, p, a derivative is not there, b, dou b by dou x is there, 0. In the third equation, t derivative is there, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1 I will have. And in the next equation, fifth equation, what are x derivatives are there? For p and b I have. Okay, so u, v I will not have. For p, minus 1 is there. And for a, it is not there. For b, minus 1 by re is there. And the cx is not there. In this way, you have to write A matrix and B matrix. Okay, this is the way you have to write. And once I write this, what you have to do, A dx plus B dy, you have to do. Okay, this is the way T matrix is to be written. Here, instead of dx dy, he has taken nx and y. Okay, so it doesn't matter, same thing. So you will get this. Though it seems to be big matrix, it doesn't matter, because if I solve it using this column, only ny into this matrix. Okay, so sorry, this row if I take and expand with respect to this, ny into determinant of this matrix I have to put. Again ny into determinant of this matrix. So ny square, right, into this I have to put. And when I want to expand this, you can take this row. So minus ny into determinant of this. This will be somewhat easier. Okay, so that if you expand, you are going to get this way. So nx square plus ny square whole square equal to 0. So nx square plus ny square equal to 0, and this becomes elliptic. Okay, so this is the way we have to do. Is it clear about everything?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes,
sir,
yes.
sir, along characteristic curve, ux, uy, vx, vy are not determinant. And sir, please, sir, give an fluid flow example to show the characteristic curve in the flow.
I didn't understand. So, ask me the
Sir,
question.
along the characteristic curve, ux, uy, vx, vy are not determinant.
Yeah, indeterminate. Yeah.
Sir, given fluid flow example and show the characteristic curve in the flow. Where ux, uy, vx, vy along are not determinant.
Okay, maybe you have to take some problem and check it. Okay, that is the behavior of the characteristic. And
If there is a flow over a flat plate, and what is the characteristic curve for that case?
characteristic of it is the direction along which the information flow. That is that actually. How the information moves.
Sir,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Maybe some other time we'll discuss. I don't know clearly what is the way physically how to explain.
sir.
I don't know. So
Okay, sir.
mathematically, this is okay.
Okay,
I will
sir.
try to get a better answer.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
now this is okay, right? Okay. And so what difference does it make in terms of analysis of fluid dynamics functions, whether the governing equations are hyperbolic, parabolic, and elliptic or some mixed nature? The answer rests on the fact that each type of equation has a different mathematical behavior, and this reflects different physical behavior of the flow fields as well. In turn, this implies that different computational methods should be used for solving equations associated with different classification. So why we have done all this is because in each of the type of equation, elliptic, parabolic, or hyperbolic, the information movement is different. And based on that, actually, we have to use a scheme which is appropriate for that. So a scheme which works for elliptic will not work for parabolic or hyperbolic. So we have to see which schemes are suitable for each type of problem. So unless I understand the physics of the problem, I cannot know what type of scheme I can use. Okay, that is the main reason why we study about the behavior of the partial differential equation. Okay, we'll see quickly. Yes,